Welcome to Align Your Practice, an exploration of the seamless relationship between the business of chiropractic and the future of natural health care. Join us as we engage with an array of talent, from seasoned experts to passionate new entrepreneurs. Now, here's your host, Dr. Joe Esposito.
Welcome to this episode of Align Your Practice podcast. Dr. Joe Esposito. I'm here again with Dr. Raymond Nichols. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to talk about external marketing. We all know there's three branches of marketing. We have our internal marketing, which is promoting internal referrals. We have our digital marketing, and we have our external marketing. We're going to talk a little bit about digital and the social aspect, but in essence of the external approach to marketing. So is that your favorite, or is it all good to you? Like, we know you're good at some of the dinner talks and social. That's what you got a name for. But what's your passion in regards to promotion?
I'm actually going to say, so like the numbers don't lie. Is that I go back and look at the practice diagnosis, and we get majority, like this year, we got 46% of our leads from external events. So
wow, 46.
So that's I love external. I love social. So yeah, I'd say it's my favorite. I think that's why it strives the way it does.
So what do you like? Is it just the power of the energy of an event of new people? Is it convincing the skeptic? What's the juice for you? Because you do like that.
Yeah. I like humanity. I like humanity. I love humans. I think humans are awesome. They're all different. They all have different stories. We all have beliefs. We have all have limiting beliefs. And I believe that what we do as chiropractors, everyone needs to know. And the only way to know is that we have to get out. We can't wait in our office and like wait for people to come in. We have to get out. We have to meet people. We have to get people in a certain environment, make it a safe environment to learn, to ask questions. Because I mean, we know doctor means to teach. And if we're not doing that, I feel like we're underserving the people that we're supposed to be serving. If we're not teaching, we're not empowering them to step into their own greatness and their own their health potential as well.
That's so interesting. You know, for me, it's I hate lies, and I just want to tell people the truth about things. That's my mission. I don't know if I like humans as much as you. I like humanity. I think I like that as a premise. Like, why do you do it? I like humanity. What a great. So for marketing guys, if you're listening, just like humanity, and that's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's great. Well, let's break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I said on a previous podcast with you, the first thing I saw, I'm not a big social media guy, but I was told to do Instagram, and I promised myself to do it every day. I did it like 7 times. But I saw that one video of you, and it was a vertical jump that I was kidding around last time. I watched that like 8 times. I'm like, I know I'm 50, but I think I could do half of that, maybe, I don't know, a little more than half. I want to see if I could do it. And I kept watching. I'm like, damn, that's amazing. So that was intriguing. But what I love about that is that's a piece of who you are, is the fitness side of things. And when I watch your stuff, I don't know if there's more magic to it than be authentic, but I see an authentic dude that's just doing what he does in his office and at home and with his family. So what is there juice to this, or is it be authentic and don't be afraid to share your life? Like, what's your message?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know it's not going to be sexy, but seriously, I think that's the piece of it is, so all my life, I haven't been like this Raymond that you met. I haven't been this Raymond. I'm sure I was introverted.
Wow.
I was afraid to talk to people, afraid to stand up for myself. Still, no, loving, kind, but I was just not extroverted at all. And that didn't really start to come into play into college. That's really where I started like really just step into my greatness and like who I am, and stop like trying to be something that I'm not. And I think that's what, for so long, I was trying to be something that I was not. And that's why people wasn't able to like fully experience who Raymond is, right? So you meet me in a day, like you're gonna fully experience Raymond. You're not gonna get any other version. Like you're gonna get Raymond, because I think, again, it's not sexy, but like being authentic it should be the easiest thing in the world to do, because like it's you, and you should just be you. But I feel like it's one of the hardest things, because like we have so many limiting beliefs about ourselves. We've heard this about ourselves. We said this person's doing this, and we try to be like this person. We try to do this. We try to take these things, and yes, we can learn from other people. But it's power when you step into your own greatness, because like I know I'm going to reach people that Dr. Joe Esposito is not going to reach. Dr. Joe Esposito is going to reach people that I'm not going to reach, right? I believe that we are here to serve a certain group of people, and and if we don't step into our greatness, then they'll never experience the Dr. Joe, right? They'll never experience the Dr. Raymond greatness they'll never hear what they need to hear from Dr. Ray. So authenticity is the foundation of it. And then you talk about like not being afraid. You definitely, and what I've noticed is that when you're afraid, you're basically like making it about you. And so I'm sure you heard the quote is that like it's not about the messenger, it's about the message. And so like that's all that matters, is the message. And like you talk about the truth, it's like this is the truth. This is a message that I have to get out. And I don't care how I look, how I sound, but it's going to get out, and it's going to resonate if it resonates with one person, like I've done my job. And that's my whole mindset when I get on social media, where I'm out in the community.
It's so huge, having the truth. It's such a blessing that we have to be able to express something that's so genuine and authentic and true. And for a group of authentic people, that's what I'm proud of, the people in AlignLife. It's a lot of authentic humans who are who they are. Quirky, weird, different, but passionate, loving, and telling the truth. Clarino said something in the previous training. I'm going to mess this up, but it was something to the effect of the energy or the power of authenticity and love and some other things. And it was like 4,000% more power in authenticity than even love. And I was like, wow, I don't remember the context, but I'll have to ask him about it. But that's, to be authentic in yourself it's scary for a lot of us to be who we are. And you said, it was interesting what you said, that the Raymond now is not what you would have seen years ago. Do you think you're a true extrovert by nature, or is your purpose just pushed you into your genuine self? Or do you do it because you're passionate in your message, and then you retreat back to the introvert of like, no, I need my alone time. I like that, but I'm not really an extrovert. Because it's interesting. There's some people like Johnny Carson is an introvert, and it's like, him? No, he did his thing quiet after his shows, and I read about him. Like, how could he be an introvert? How do you feel about yourself on that aspect? Are you an extrovert?
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I actually gave this some thought. And so I think it's the mission. I think it's like where I want to go, and the truth that I want to get out allows me to have like just do it. It's like I just got to do it, right? I would say I am more introverted. I will say that, because I do love being around people. I will say that. But I have noticed that when I'm around, and maybe just around certain people, like I'm not the loud or anything like that. Yeah. It's like I do get a little reserved and I just kind of like observe the people around me a little bit, and then like I engage. But I'm not the engager at first in some crowds. So I have noticed that about myself. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting that I'm not like super extroverted around these people right away. Like I'm a little reserved, and typically I'm not like that. So again, that's very interesting. Yeah.
I think you're an introvert. I really do. In social circles, you'll be quieter. Now, if someone asks you to speak, you'll step up and shine.
Gotcha.
But I think you're by nature wired as an introvert. I don't think you'd be comfortable every day on stage or every day in groups of 100. Like I think your message is so pure and strong that it just comes out.
It drives. Gotcha.
It just comes out. But I think your natural state may be, in a sense, it's interesting, right? Because those that are introverts that are listening, we label ourselves like, oh, I can't do that, I'm introvert. No, you just can't live that way. like you're not on social media every moment of every day. You're not on stage every day. But if you want to do dinner talk, you go in, you shine, then you're back with the family and you're in your space, right? To rejuvenate, right? So interesting. So let's talk about the other side. We talk a little about social. Wait, before we go there, any practicality on social? Post every day. Give me 2 or 3 little pieces of meat that you may hear elsewhere, but simple, practical things for people to grab.
I think one is follow and engage with people in your community. Literally, you can go to the search bar. You can type in a hashtag. I'm going to use Greenville, for example. I'm typing in GBL this or Greenville this or Greenville that, and people have put these hashtags up that live in Greenville, and you're able to just follow them. You can engage with them. That's one of the things I did before we even moved to Greenville. And like I said, we had one screen set up because of that. Because I literally just I follow a lot of people though. I saw Greenville, click, and I almost because they only let you follow so many people in one day, and it stopped letting me follow people for 24 hours because I had followed so many people that day, and I did the same thing the next day, and I continue to do the same thing until I went to my metrics. You can see a metrics in Instagram to see where your followers are from. Until my metrics in Instagram said that most of my followers were from Greenville. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're getting somewhere. So that's one thing, practicality that you can do if you're in the city or if you're going to a new city, new area. Next thing is I would post every day just because social media, people are inundated with information literally every single day. So you gotta do something every single day, whether it's something small, a video, a post, something, just to not only keep people engaged, but also keep the algorithm going as well. Because once you stop, the algorithm goes down, and then it's really hard to get it back going. In that piece of it. And I'm trying to think of number 3 is, I think it goes to what I'm about to say. I think we talk about authenticity, obviously.
Yeah, that's
the beast. Yeah. So you got to be that. But I think those are some practical things that we do to this day, and just be creative as much as possible. And if you're not creative, then you got to find someone who is creative.
Yeah, you got to keep it interesting. That's true. And did it happen overnight, or was it take years where you started to see more and more traction? Let's say in Greenville, that first year, did it fill your practice up, or was it what did it do for you?
No, it didn't fill our practice up, but I mean, but you started to see these things. You in the city, you continue to do it. You follow people, they see you here, they hear about you here. It happened I guess it's been a month now. Me and Dr. Mariya went out to eat. We had a date night. We had have too many date nights, but we had a date night. Went to Orchard House downtown, and the manager actually of the Orchard place, he was just looking at me weird. And I'm like, why is I'm in my head why is this man looking at me like that? And then he came up to me. He was like, "It's gonna be a weird question, but I have to ask you. Are you the chiropractor?" And I was like, yeah, that's me. He was like, oh, I thought that was you, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, I've been wanting to get into the office. I follow you on social media. And then he was like, and literally 5 minutes after that, I got a notification saying that he had paid his $50 deposit for his new patient appointment. And he scheduled his appointment, and he's been on the care for a month now. And he's trying to get his wife in as well. So
wow,
those things, those things happen. Once you continue to do it, you almost become this, I won't say a celebrity, but almost a local celebrity of the of your city. Because people know you because you're somewhere, you're in their ear or you're in their face.
I love it. Well, let's do the last part on this. That was great practical insight, guys. If you're listening, the other piece we'll go is a little bit on external marketing. That's how I built my practices, was external marketing. We didn't have the internet back then, and it was just workshops, screenings, that's my powerhouse, that I could go in a screening and build a practice in a weekend. I actually love it. So I love what you said, and I think the systems are one thing. AlignLife has exact systems, how to do a screening, how to do a dinner talk. We have systems, and we talked about this in a previous podcast. You have to have systems. But really, it's the intention to me, because I was at a screening in helping a clinic out in North Carolina, and they would get like one patient each time. And I went to the screening and watched the way they did it. I go, guys, you're not even like focused on the mission. Like, I don't feel the energy of like that, people are suffering. I don't feel like you're missing the piece of, you got the practical part, like a clipboard, you got the pieces, but I don't feel any intention. Like, I see suffering people. I'm here, like, I can't sit down. You're sitting down. I can't sit down because there's so much suffering people. I got to get up and talk to them. So for me, I'll sit in the car and I'll visualize the people I'm going to see and do some deep breathing. And I'll picture the girl who's scheduled for surgery to put a rod in her spine next week. And I'm hoping to meet her. I visualize the little boy on ADHD going to get Ritalin and graduate to antidepressants and mess up his life, his family, his future, his intimate relationships, everything based on this psychotropic change they're going to make to that child's brain. So I'll see these people. When I get out of the car, you can't sit me down. You can't, like, I'm on. I'm ready. So it's getting in state. Like, I got to serve now. You know what I mean? So you said, and I was joking, but the truth is, you said, I do this because I like humanity. 3 words. I like humanity. That's intention, right? And then you and I maybe stumble through the systems and own it because we got to get a product. But it's because the burning feeling inside of us, right? It's not to build the business. It's not. I don't feel that in you. It's not. And people say, I'm trying to build my business. I'm like, don't. Serve people. Don't build a business. Don't get patients. Serve people to serve their adversity. Help serve. Don't get. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think you resonate the same way. How do you feel?
Yeah, I resonate with that because that's the intention. So when you say that what gets you in your state, what gets me in my state every time is my grandparents, right? So I live with them. I see them. I saw them suffer. I saw them take medication, surgeries, and that's my motivation. It's like, hey, like when I'm talking to someone, like I see Dr. Joe, I'm talking to you, but behind the lens, I see George Smith, which is my grandfather. And I know that he would be a lot healthier, a lot more functioning, a lot more, have more adaptability if he would have had chiropractic care early on in his life. And so that's my drive. And that's how I get in the state. Yeah.
I love that. So your go-tos are probably dinner talks, right? That's your go-to. That's one of your, feathers in your cap. Like, you can pull that off. Is that one of your strengths?
Yeah, I would say at this point, yes. Early on in my career, I would say probably not. But I would say dinner talks and definitely the screenings. But yeah, dinner talks. I love the dinners. They make the most sense. We're able to get people there. We talk about utilizing social media. We also obviously we utilize social media as well to get people in seats at the dinners. But we also, as a team, what we do is typically on Tuesdays when we have a dinner coming up, we just go out in the community and I just print these little flyers out, and we literally hey, we're such and such. We're right down the street. Have you heard about us? Blah blah blah. We're doing a dinner on this day at this time. I want to invite you and your staff. You just scan the QR code, and we do that. We I go one way. Another team member goes another way. Dr. Vought goes another way, and we just divide and conquer. And so that's old school marketing there, but I think it works because people get to see you. You'd be surprised how many people around our office, they're like, I never heard of AlignLife. I'm like, I'm literally right down this closet beside you. What do you mean?
Well, to what you just said to me just speaks to a different level of consciousness. You're not starving for new patients. You have more doctors on your team. You're successful. You don't need to go on the street and hand out little flyers, little cards to get people to make money to pay for your rent. So why the heck is a doctor taking a postcard, walking streets when he's successful, making money, and doesn't need to? It's because he loves humanity. I mean, really think about it. Why do I, at 52, running a franchise, love to do a screening? I don't need to do a screening.
Yeah,
because I want to tell the truth to people, right? Isn't it the truth that those that are just trying to build a business and they're suffering, stop. Just start serving, right? I mean, you're handing those out because you want to serve people, right? It's not because you need to pay the rent, right? It's just that's what creates abundance, is serving the mission. So I could just talk mission all day. Sometimes I could be slapped. Wait, system, get back. Give them some meat. Stop talking the mission and mindset. Well, let's give them some meat on dinner talks. What are the top 3? Like, is there little practical things that you messed up in the beginning that you really got to set it right? Whether the way you give the offer, when they eat, or is there any simple practical things you could lay out? A couple.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that made the biggest difference was that at first I was always rushing my clothes for some reason, and maybe some uncomfortability there in the beginning, but I was always rushing. My clothes were probably like, I don't know, 2 minutes or a minute, maybe. It's like, and I laugh because like my clothes now is literally probably, I would say probably 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And like the body of my talk is probably like maybe 10 minutes. Like I would never have done that at the beginning. Cause in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm giving them all this information and then just do this short close at the end and they're going to be ready to go. But no, like it's the opposite. I do a heavier open, a smaller body, and then I do a heavy close. And by tying in the opening with that essentially, and bringing it back, I talk about my grandparents as my story, and that's what drives me. And like that has made the biggest difference in like getting people to take this information and be receptive to it. And come into the office. And so like, and that's the same thing I taught Dr. Vaught. Like, so he's doing a dinner tonight. And also Dr. Vaught is doing a dinner next Friday. The same place. We're going to get it packed out both Fridays back to back.
Awesome. Well, that's great practical insight. Just closing up, any final thoughts? I think we gave you some practical insight and we know exactly what they need to do to take the next level in their practice.
I think we hit it all. I think the biggest thing is just being authentic and just knowing like why you do what you do. You got to know why you do what you do. And I think that's going to allow people to really step into their greatness. Okay.
Awesome. So if you guys want some more information about dinner talks or anything, please reach out to AlignLife. We'd be glad to serve you. Thanks for listening. Dr. Raymond, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This episode was brought to you by AlignLife Chiropractic and Natural Health Centers. If you're interested in creating your dream practice or want to know more about AlignLife, go to AlignLifePodcast.com.